Good morning, massaponax. Today, we will be looking at the Massaponax High School iceberg. Even if you've been a student here for 4 years, there are some things that you might not know, and this iceberg is here to tell you some of them. You have been warned. Some of the stuff on here is not meant for mortal eyes, and continuing to watch this video may cause your flesh to unravel like a poorly built zipper. I am not to be held responsible for any damages that may occur, and I am absolved of all liability if you continue to watch this video. With that out of the way, let's get into the iceberg. The first item on this iceberg is the boys' bathroom being locked during lunch. This actually has something to do with something deeper on the iceberg. Due to unruly behavior from students, the boys' bathrooms were locked during lunch during the 2021 to 2022 school year, requiring any male student wishing to take a piss to simply do it in their pants instead. To this day, it is unclear how many gallons of piss seeped into the Ponax flooring as a result of a lack of access to toilets. If you went to the URL amongus.com, the school's light speed filter blocked it as suspicious. I don't even know what to say. While many search terms such as the simple words gun and jerk, as well as more obvious things like Minecraft and anime were blocked, sus was also a blocked term, but this one takes the cake because some minimum wage technician clearly knew what they were doing here, as previously, in the school year, it was only blocked for being unknown. Up next, we have the hit Spirit Day event, anything but a backpack day. As the name implies, on this Spirit Day, which was hosted for the Mamma Mia musical, students were encouraged to bring their supplies to school in anything other than a backpack. While the organizers of the Mamma Mia Spirit Week were themselves unsure of how the theme related to the topic, students were more than happy to participate. Some notable objects include several air fryers, a shopping cart, a cat tree, and the entire fucking scene shop sink. Word has it that the sink was left outside, and the scene shop, and it has not been seen since. Up next, we have the Mr. Singer cheese picture. This picture is allegedly on an official Spotsylvania County Schools website, but it is unclear when this file was uploaded, nor are we aware who uploaded it. Attempts have been made to remove it. It refuses to be deleted. Sentient. Do not research for your own safety, as this file is. Moving on, we end up at the kid with the hentai hoodie and Razer headphones. If you stepped foot in a Ponax hallway, you are familiar with this student. As the name implies, he is known simply as the kid with the hentai hoodie, or occasionally, the kid with the hentai hoodie and Razer headphones. His true identity is unknown, but he prowls the hallways, unaware of the stares he gets from his peers, or perhaps he is aware and simply does not care, which is the expected result from someone who wears a hentai hoodie to school. Rumor has it that he was not told to cut this behavior out because no administrator wanted to be the one to admit they know what hentai is. The Instagram account Ponax Nappers took pictures of people sleeping and uploaded it to their page. Users could message the account to request a picture be taken down, but by and large, these pictures were posted without the consent of the people in them. Some people took advantage of this and started sleeping in a bunch of ridiculous ways. As the year went on, however, the page faded into obscurity and lost its popularity, allowing people to sleep in class without the fear of getting anything but a pencil to the head. These next two both have to do with students at Ponax. Rumors abound of two particular cases. One kid bringing an Xbox to school to play games, and one kid driving an RC car through the school. Both of these students, though little information remains about them, developed a solid reputation in the Ponax folklore for their deeds. Mr. Singer is a very iconic teacher for many reasons, but one of those reasons is his rise to infamy due to the fact that during the 2019 to 2020 school year, he would traverse the Ponax halls on a bike. Students would part ways so he could zoom through the hallway at top speed to get to where he needed to be. Where did he come from, and where did he go? Nobody knows. Mr. Nestor and Mr. Wilson are also iconic teachers at Ponax. Despite Nestor being a relatively new teacher, only arriving at Ponix sometime in the last 3 years, he rose to fame quickly because of how chill he was. Some students suspected that he was a bit too chill, and attributed his excessive cool factor to an abundance of the devil's lettuce in his system. Rumors spread that Nestor, Wilson, and a few others made friends with the teacher Mary Jane and injected weed leaves directly into their blood vessels. While none of these claims were ever proven, do you really doubt this? Them? Come on. Mr. Pisani was the principal up until the end of the 2018 to 2019 school year, at which point Gabalski took over. What happened to him? Why did he leave? According to my sources, he eventually caused him to... He had no choice but to... Mr. Singer... Shot. Gabalski realized not to make the same mistake, so for now he continues to live. You may have heard of the things in this tier before, or even witnessed some of them yourself. Now we move to the more obscure tier of Ponix lore, what lurks beneath the surface of our seemingly peaceful school. The dumbass fuck landmass. During the Halloween season, Ponix participates in a seasonal event known as Haunted Hallways, more commonly known as just Haunted Halls. Each department is given a hallway to decorate, and prizes are handed out based on who has the most unique, creative, or otherwise stunning display of festive fun. The Special Education Department is one such department participating in Haunted Halls. But what did they decide to do for their theme in the 2021 to 2022 school year? A clown freak show. Needless to say, this decision generated a bit of controversy for obvious reasons, but I'm not going to deny that that's kind of funny. The J Drive is one of Ponix's best kept secrets. On the computers in the computer lab, which many students may not set foot in more than once during their Ponix career, there is a special drive that contains access to many movies and games provided by the students. Why do the administrators not crack down on this shared drive? Nobody knows. If you look in one of the windows near the left bus loop entrance, you may notice a box of a peculiar cereal brand known as Crunchios. This is a reference to the hit TV series The Simpsons. It has resided there longer than many of the teachers at the school have, though the identity of who it belongs to and who it initially placed it there is unknown. Gabalski told students to meet near the treasure house during a school event. Not one person in the entire senior class he was addressing knew, or does currently know, what the fuck a treasure house is or where it is located, but the name would seem to imply that it is a house containing treasure valuable to the students of Ponix, perhaps a Wi-Fi router or donuts that haven't been cummed on. 2 types of stickers have actually been placed all around the Ponix grounds in the last few years. One set of stickers, the Peppa Pig stickers, were placed everywhere you could think of by a senior who graduated sometime during or before the 2018 to 2019 school year. Another more, lewd set of stickers was also placed around the school during the 2021 to 2022 school year. Stickers of, naked anime girls and hentai faces. When did the hentai hoodie kid get a sticker collection? One such sticker was found in a lighting booth, along with a few discarded latex-free gloves, and I hesitate to think of what substances may be contained within them. At the beginning of the year, for a short time, Google Chat was unblocked for students. It was quickly blocked because teachers realized that students were using it to communicate. Instead of focusing on schoolwork, students focused on how to neglect said schoolwork in the form of detailed PowerPoint presentations on Lady Macbeth, which was actually a slideshow where students pasted in memes and shitposts, Gmail threads totaling hundreds if not thousands of messages, and Google Docs where students communicated in real time. If only students used that effort to communicate with their teachers on how to fix their steadily dropping grades. Not through Google Chat, of course, since that is now teacher exclusive. Near the scene shop, a room already very few students are familiar with, there is an even more obscure room, one unlabeled, with a piano inside it and writing on the walls. The room is bare otherwise, and the piano itself is off-key, playing notes higher than they should be. It is entirely unclear how many spirits lurk within this room, but sources estimate that it must be at least 6. Multiple casualties have been reported near the vicinity, such as the scene shop. In world history, which is taken during a student's sophomore year, they may be shown the film
Les Misérables,
a film about French people being poor or something, but this one is historic apparently. This may cause students to do research on the characters, and if they look certain characters' names up in conjunction, they will find some less than savory fan stories involving less than school-appropriate subject matters, such as littering, sitting for the Pledge of Allegiance, and taking fat cocks up the ass 7 at a time. Viva la resistance! As mentioned above, the boys' bathrooms were closed during lunch during the 2021 to 2022 school year. This was due to the TikTok Devious Lick Challenge, where students stole progressively more ridiculous things from the school grounds. Allegedly, an entire toilet was damaged in one of the boys' bathrooms, and many paper towel and soap dispensers were irreparably damaged. It got so bad Gabalski had to make an announcement over the loudspeakers about it. The ones that weren't in 10 pieces, that is. These next two both have to do with Ponix making the news. The bottom one, where Ponix made the news because of a fight resulting in one girl being sent to the hospital, made local headlines, solidifying Ponix's reputation as the fight school. The other one, however, was far more prolific. The Spotsylvania County School Board decided it would be a good idea to ban books talking about naughty things like gay people existing. The amount of outrage this generated propelled us to international fucking headlines. We were on the front page of Reddit's r/politics. My friend in fucking Indiana got a news article about us. A guy I know who lives in fucking Slovakia heard about us. The school board decided pretty quickly to overturn their decision, probably because if they didn't do that fast, their office would be as burnt as the books about gays. We are now entering the truly spooky territory. Continue watching at your own risk, because the information contained within is so powerful, your brain may melt like a snowman spawned in the nether. You have once again been warned. Mr. Garland was a study hall teacher in the 2021 to 2022 school year, when many students' study halls were dropped in the auditorium and 100 or more kids were left under the supervision of one teacher. One day, Mr. Garland walked out to attend something, and he was literally never seen again. To this day, students are left wondering if that man just straight up passed away, or if he decided he was not being paid nearly enough for this shit, and decided to get a job at a higher paying location, such as McDonald's. During the 2019 to 2020 school year, directly before the Rona, which we will touch on later, sophomores went on a field trip to the Holocaust Museum. While other questionable things happened on this field trip, such as 2 students, one wearing a MAGA hat, making out in front of the Holocaust survivors, perhaps the most egregious infraction came in the form of 2 entirely different students standing in a room describing the horrific ghettos Jews were forced into to film a Snapchat video where they repeated the words, "We in the ghetto, rat-ta-ta-ta." These students belong in the museum not as visitors but as an exhibit. The 2 aforementioned students making out in front of Holocaust survivors engaged in risque activities right at home in our beloved Ponix. Allegedly, they have straight up dicked down in the library bathroom, the janitor's closet, and in the fucking greenhouse. This one was specifically witnessed by a student that I have absolutely no reason to doubt. We truly live in a society. But suspicious activities are not limited to students alone. No, the teachers wanted to get on their fair share of wacky shit. Allegedly, a male English teacher was fired years ago for sexually assaulting a female student after having a relationship with her prior to that. There are also reports of teachers being generally creepy towards the students and just acting plain weird. We truly live in a society. The end of the 2019 to 2020 school year, as mentioned previously, was tainted by the Rona. Shortly after the Holocaust Museum field trip, COVID cases in Spotsylvania rose from approximately 0 to 1, and the school board decided, like seeing a 10% chance of light snow on the forecast, that school needed to be shut down for the rest of the year. That fateful Thursday, right before the end of the day, an announcement was made on the loudspeakers telling students, despite the shocking lack of school shooters, not to come to school tomorrow. Singer still forced his tech theater students to perform manual labor regardless of this. SOLs were cancelled, and for the rest of the year, students literally just did not go back, proving that SOLs are in fact completely fucking useless and are not actually necessary for anything other than causing suicidal thoughts to rise at a rate comparable to COVID right after the shutdown. When students are allowed to have their senior year end properly, it is tradition to arrange some kind of senior prank. At some point prior to the 2018 to 2019 school year, students decided it would be knee-slapping hilarious if they hacked the TVs all around the school and showed footage of pussy slapping instead. The real prank was the fact that those TVs turned on at all, since statistics show that during an average Ponix student's 4-year career, the televisions turn on for any reason approximately 1 time, and when it does, on average, it is to show the weather for some fucking reason. Much like the Ponix Snappers page, the Ponix Confessions page was another Instagram page that aggregated things about students from around the school in the 2021 to 2022 school year. The difference is while the former showcased pictures of sleeping students, the latter literally showcased Google Form submissions of students talking about how much they wanted to sexually harass certain teachers, whether or not certain freshmen had STDs, and other legitimately disgusting things that should be shared with a therapist and not the student body. While the page was allegedly shut down because Gabalski got involved, given one of the teachers facing the brunt of the harassing comments went to him directly and was pretty much told to suck it up and deal with it, I have reason to believe that was fabricated because it would require the administration to care about its faculty, which we all know is a myth greater than BYOD Wi-Fi being brought back. Prior to the 2018 to 2019 school year, Ponix received bomb and shooting threats so often you could time a clock based on how frequently it happened. One such threat was so aggressive and so specific in nature that a specific stairwell was shut down for at least a week, causing many students a much unwanted detour to their classes. Given this was during the era of 3-minute class transitions, every step counted, so I think most students would rather be blown up in a stairwell than go off their normal route. During the 2021 to 2022 school year, many students were excited to have homecoming and prom proceed as scheduled. After the pandemic wore off, these dances would mark the first dances that a lot of the students, including half of the school having never experienced a dance before, got to experience in years. Unfortunately, the good vibes were tainted a bit by a specific student passing out and being taken away by an ambulance at both homecoming and prom. Surprisingly, this student did graduate alive despite a heat index of over 100. In the scene shop, there was also during the 2021 to 2022 school year, during which an increasingly disproportionate amount of fucked up shit happened, a special ed student was locked in a bathroom stall by several freshmen. Needless to say, the special ed student freaked out and the freshman filmed his reaction and posted it online. That backfired for the freshmen because they all received extreme disciplinary action, were pretty much told not to come back to the school where they would get their asses whooped into the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, and Gabalski went on a speech lasting approximately 6 minutes and 43 seconds about how we can do better than this, and this is not what our school is about. Somehow this one did not make the news, to my knowledge. This egg was featured in a poster in one of the teacher workrooms. I am not sure what this is meant to represent, but it does raise the question of whether eggs can get involved in BDSM, because I believe that would simply end their lives and spread both type of egg whites all over the bed. In the vents surrounding the massaponax gym, there is an extreme number of tennis balls lodged into the ducts. A student once told me that an acquaintance of her brother threw a tennis ball onto the roof once, and instead of having a tennis ball fall down, a baseball fell down instead. To end off the massaponax iceberg during the, you guessed it, 2021 to 2022 school year, right before first lunch, someone was wheeled out of the Commons A lunch line on a stretcher. While it is assumed that it was a student, it is unclear if it was perhaps one of the lunch ladies instead. All I'm saying is the meat in the calzones comes from somewhere and it is not free. That's all. Unless... One of Ponax's most obscure facts is the knowledge of the third floor and the senior classrooms and swimming pool on the roof. Many freshmen walk into Ponax and are confused when nobody mentions the swimming pool on the roof. Many of these freshmen believe that they have been lied to. The floor plans do not say anything about a third floor. To that I have to say, where do you think all the water coming through the ceiling comes from? That's right. The piss leaking through the tiles because the boys' bathrooms were shut down during lunch.